Good morning, class. So today I will be discussing to you the lesson 3.5 scripted and non-scripted performances as well as the lesson 3.6 puppetry and mask making. But before we proceed to our proper discussion, let us know first our learning objectives. So, at the end of the lesson, the students can identify the different types of performance, puppetry, and mask making, explain the different types of performance, puppetry, and mask making, and the last one is differentiate the different types of performance and puppetry and mask making. And I hope that at the end of the lesson, we will be able to meet those three objectives. Now let us proceed to the lesson 3.5 scripted and non-scripted performances. But first, let us define what is performance. A performance is an act or process of staging or presenting a play, concert, or other form of entertainment. It is also defined as the action or process of carrying out or accomplishing an action, task, or function. So basically, performance is an act of carrying out or presenting something like a play, concert, or dance. It involves a live display where the performer needs to connect with the audience, sharing emotions, stories, or music. And we have types of performances. First, the scripted performances refers to the performances that allow the students to prepare a script in advance and to rehearse it before performing them. So this kind of performances involves actors or groups following a pre-written script with lines, actions, and sometimes stage directions. Performers memorize or read from the script, rehearsing to perfect their delivery. This type of performance focuses on accurately presenting the content with preparation including the character development, practicing dialogue, and refining body language and tone. And the example of this performance are role play and musical theater play. The next one we have the non-scripted performances refers to the performances in which students plays without a script or rehearse. So basically this kind of performance doesn't have a pre-written script unlike to the scripted performances where they follow a pre-written script. In this performance, the performers rely on improvisation, responding to the situation, environment, or prompts they receive. This type of performance is spontaneous, flexible, and emphasizes the creativity, quick thinking, and adaptability with the little to no rehearse or memorizations. And the example of this performance are the improvisational theater, improv comedy, speech or debate without preparation, storytelling, and physical theater or movement. Now let us proceed to 3.6 puppetry and mask making. Okay, puppetry. The word puppet comes from the Latin pupa meaning doll. A puppet is not a doll, nor it is limited to being doll-like. A puppet can be almost anything brought to life by a human in front of an audience. The puppeteer communicates with the audience through the puppet. So basically, puppets are objects or figures controlled by a puppeteer. And puppeteer is called to the person who control the puppet to represent characters or convey stories. While the word puppet comes from the Latin pupa meaning doll, puppets are not simply dolls. They are a dynamic, often used to perform actions, express emotions, and engage an audience through movement and voice. A puppet can take many forms, such as hand puppet, marionette, or even shadow puppet, and can be made from various materials including cloth, wood paper, or even modern technology. The puppeteer is the person who manipulates and controls the puppet, either by hand, strings, rod, or other methods. Through the puppet, the puppeteer communicates with the audience, bringing the character to life. Puppets, often out of stories, engage in dialogue or perform physical action that evoke emotions or entertain. Puppetry is often used in a variety of performances from children's shows to adult theater and can be found in both traditional and contemporary forms. We also have types of puppetry. First one is the rod puppet. Rod puppet, a puppet constructed without shoulders, arms, or legs and manipulated by one or more rods. Okay, a rod puppet is a simply puppet made from lightweight materials, usually with just a head or torso. It is controlled by a rods attached to the parts like the head part or the body part, allowing the puppeteer to move it and express emotions or action. And this type of puppets are easily to manipulate and can be used in both simple and more complex performances. The next one, we have shadow puppet, a flat two-dimensional puppet designed to cast a shadow or form a silhouette on a white screen. So basically, this type of puppet is a flat two-dimensional figure made from a thin material like paper or plastic. When light shines through it, the puppet creates a shadow or silhouette on a white screen. The shadow shows the shape of the puppet, but the puppet itself is not seen. Only its outline is visible on the screen. Shadow puppets are often used in storytelling or performances to create visual effects. Next one, we have the hand puppet. A puppet that fits over puppeteer's hand much a mitten and is manipulated by puppeteer's fingers inside the puppet's head and hands. So basically, this hand puppet fits over the puppeteer's hand, allowing them to control the puppet's head and hands using their fingers, and it is made from soft materials like cloth or foam. Hand puppet are easy can be easy to manipulate, making them to a great for quick interactive performances, and they are often used in the children's shows because of their tactile nature, helping to create a strong connection between the performers and the audience. The next one, we have a movable mouth puppet, a hand puppet with a movable mouth. So basically, this movable mouth puppet is a type of a hand puppet with a mouth that can open and close, controlled by a puppeteer's finger. These features makes the puppet more expressive and lifelike, allowing it to mimic actions like speaking or eating. The puppeteer can sync the puppet's mouth movements with dialogue or emotions, making the performance more engaging for the audience. So, what do you think the difference between a hand puppet and the movable mouth puppet? So, The main difference between a hand puppet and a movable mouth puppet is that the movable mouth puppet has a mouth that can open and close, usually controlled by the puppeteer's hand or fingers, while in contrast, a hand puppet, the puppeteer's finger control the head and hands, but the mouth does not move. The movable mouth feature allows the puppet to better mimic speaking or other mouth-related action, making it more expressive and lifelike. Okay, the next one we have a marionette puppet, a puppet manipulated by string connecting a control rod or paddle to the moving body parts. So, this kind of puppet, the marionette puppet, is controlled by a string or wire attached to its head, arms, and legs. The puppeteer uses a control rod or paddle to move the strings and create a lifelike detailed movements like walking or dancing. Marionettes are known for their realism and flexibility, often used in both traditional and modern performances to tell stories or show complex characters. And so, what do you think the difference between the rod puppets and the marionette puppets? So, the main difference between a rod puppet and a marionette is that a rod puppet is controlled using rod attached to the puppet's head, while the marionette is controlled by strings or wires. In a rod puppet, the puppeteer moves parts like the head or hands directly with the rods. In contrast, a marionette's movements are more complex, as the strings allow the puppeteer to control different parts of the body, like the head, arms, and legs. For more lifelike actions, the marionette offers a greater control over detailed movements like walking or dancing. The next one is the full body puppet, a puppet worn over the puppeteer's head and body like a costume. So, a full body puppet is worn by the puppeteers like a costume, covering their head, torso, and sometimes the whole body. So, the performer uses their own movements to control the puppet, creating a large dramatic character. So, these puppets are bigger than a hand puppet or marionettes and offer an immersive experiences for both the performer and the audience. They are used in a theatrical show, parades, and festival for large scale performances. So those are the types of the puppetry: the rod puppet, hand puppet, movable mouth puppet, marionette puppet, and the full body puppet. Okay, the next one we have mask making. Mask is covering worn over all or part of the actor's face to neutralize the actor's own face. Masks have long been a part of the theater. The Greek believed that you put on a mask to become another person, and in Japan, masks have been part of the traditional no theater since the 20th century. So, mask making refers to the craft or creating masks that cover the the actor's face. Mask help the performer to transform into a different character, conveying a different emotions, roles, and even supernatural qualities. They are important in many theater traditions, helping the audience to quickly understand the character's identity. In or in historically, masks have been an integral part of a theater across various cultures. In ancient Greek theater, for instance, actors wore masks to represent gods, heroes, or mythological features and to convey emotions like joy, sorrow, or anger. The use of the mask in Greek theater allow a single actor to portray multiple roles, and the exaggerated features on the mask also help amplify the character's emotions and presence for a large audience. Similarly, in Japanese no theater has used mask for centuries, with each mask symbolize a particular character type or emotion, from gods to demons, from young women to elderly men. The mask itself often become the focal point of the performance, guiding both the actor's performance and the audience interpretation of the show. And we have the types of mask making. First one is the neutral mask, a white feature facial covering worn to neutralize the actor's own face. So, this type of mask is typically white and feature no facial expression other than the basic shape of the face. It is used in performance to neutralize the actor's own face and to eliminate any personal facial expression, allowing the actor to fully engage in physical and emotional aspect of their performance without any facial distractions. By wearing the neutral mask, the performer is given the opportunity to focus on the movement and physicality of their character, as well as their inner emotions without the face revealing or influencing those expressions. This neutral mask serves as a blank canvas for the actor, helping them to explore a more unbiased, universal form of expression. This kind of mask encourages performers to break away from their habitual gestures or emotional expressions and develop a more clean slate approach to their movements and emotion. It also aids in learning how to be more in tune with their body and physicality in the process of storytelling. The next one is the character mask, a mask representing a specific character. So, this type of mask is designed to represent a specific character, often with exaggerated features and distinctive details that help convey the essence of that character. Unlike the neutral mask, which has no features and leaves room for the actor's facial expression, a character mask has defined attributes like facial expression, age, gender, and personality traits. These masks are often used in theater to help the performer physically embody the character they are playing, as well as to give the audience immediate visual cues about the character's identity, role, or emotional state. Those are the types of mask, the neutral and the character mask. Now let us proceed to the mask construction. Masks can be constructed from many different materials. Masks are often a combination of materials, metal, fabric, paper, and leather can all be used to create a mask. The most common and most easily accessible materials are paper products. Originally, paper products can be mixed with recycled material such as styrofoam, plastic, or aluminum to make a unique one-of-a-kind mask. Unusual masks can also be made from neutral materials such as sticks, leaves, bark, and grasses, and weeds. So, in making a mask, the most common material used is the paper, which is lightweight, easy to work with, and accessible. However, masks can also be made from metal, fabric, leather, plastic, and even natural materials like stick, leaves, bark, and grasses, depending on the desired effect and the cultural or artistic context. Recyclable materials can also be creatively integrated into mask making, allowing for eco-friendly or one-of-a-kind creations. The choice of materials can influence not only the mask appearance but also its texture, weight, and suitability for different performance types. Okay, do you understand? Is there any questions, clarifications, or anything? And okay, if none, then let us review what we have discussed. So, we discussed the types of performance, the scripted and non-scripted performance. We also discussed the types of puppetry. We have 6 types: the road puppet, the hand puppet, the movable mouth puppet, the shadow puppet, the marionette puppet, and the full body puppet. We also discuss the types of mask making. We have the neutral mask and the character mask. So, I think that's all. Thank you for watching.